Fam, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube with a breaking update. Jaylen Mbakwe, freshman at the University of Alabama, has entered the NCAA transfer portal. Now, earlier today, it was Charlie Potter who had the scoop that said that they were hearing that Jaylen Mbakwe was close to entering the NCAA transfer portal because reportedly he was going to get a 7-figure deal. So here we are today on Monday, December 16th, and Jaylen Mbakwe enters the NCAA transfer portal. This is monumental, and this is part of the new world of college football. Let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you think in terms of an impact on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being an absolutely huge impact, 1 not so much. I'm going to walk you through it. I appreciate you guys being here on Bama Football on YouTube. Now, Jaylen Mbakwe, there's a lot of transfer portal news, so how I'm going to break this video up, I'm going to talk about Jaylen Mbakwe. I'm going to talk about Emmanuel Henderson, who also hit the transfer portal within the last hour. You also have Devontae Smith, who made his decision as well, and he's going to end up at Notre Dame. And then you have Danny Lewis, the tight end, who withdrew his name from the transfer portal. So I appreciate you guys getting checked in. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. College football is absolutely off the rails. The guidelines, the guardrails, there's really none. And a player like Jaylen Mbakwe, I think this is the first really significant player that Alabama is losing from the transfer portal. I think Emmanuel Henderson, honestly, is also a big loss. And I think that Justice Haynes is a big loss. I mean, the last few of them kind of more notable than the last, the first couple guys that were going in. So, look, with Jaylen Mbakwe, this is the interesting thing. How do people, and kind of the timeline of this is interesting because how could he receive a 7-figure deal if he wasn't yet in the transfer portal, right? So let's break this down a couple different ways, and then we'll go over it. But I appreciate you guys being here. I'm only going to do this one time. So will you please right now hit the thumbs up button so I don't have to keep repeating it. I know it gets annoying when you hear that. So just hit it one time. It hits the overall video's performance. I appreciate it. This is what I do for a livelihood. Thank you very much for being here. Jaylen Mbakwe, all right? In terms of being a freshman here, you know who his best friend is. I mean, he was seen last night dancing with Ryan Williams, right? He has the podcast, The Next Wave. In-state guy. And think about, what's scary about all this? This is what is terrifying about this right here, okay? I'm about to say this. Listen up. Who was the biggest recruit to get Ryan Williams to Alabama? Tell me right here in the comment box. Let's rewind, okay? Who was the biggest advocate to get Ryan Williams to Alabama? Sound off inside the comment box. Was it A, Kalen DeBoer? Was it B, Roll Tide Willie? Or was it C, Jaylen Mbakwe? That is what is so scary. And this is what I've been telling you guys about even during the season, right? And I don't think Ryan's leaving at all. But my point is, this is what's scary, is you elevate your overall brand, whether that be the Next Wave podcast or you just plain and simple play at Alabama, right? And your brand gets elevated. People, look, they want people from Alabama, plain and simple. It's been happening for such a long time under Coach Saban, but just with his assistant coaches. And now that everything is off the rails, you can go after a Jaylen Mbakwe. I personally don't think that Ryan Williams will leave because of the fact that I think that they're taking care of him in terms of money, right? Let's be honest. What do you think? They're going to say, what, we're going to throw you the ball 80 times next year? He's going to get fed regardless, but they're going to pay him. But how much money does Alabama have? They're not broke. Of course, all these programs have mega millions, but how much are you paying your high profile players? And let me ask you, I haven't even seen this. Is there anyone out there that has been talking about where Jaylen Mbakwe could go? I have not seen this out there. Take a guess inside the comment box. Where do you think that Ryan Williams is going to go? I was thinking, just because I really haven't even had time to really put this into play, but I was thinking, I mean, the scary ones is I was thinking, of course, Ole Miss. For whatever reason, I'm like, they got billions. He could go over there and play with Lane. Then I was thinking maybe Colorado. And I was thinking, like, Coach Prime would be like, yo, I could turn you into the next Travis Hunter, right? Because of the fact you play both ways in high school. I don't know. I have no idea. Early takes, Kimberly saying Georgia, Lance is saying Ole Miss. So Ole Miss seems like a spot. Okay. I don't think it's Auburn. I know Auburn definitely wanted him out, right? Rick, why don't you care about this? You said ask. What's up, Rick? I appreciate you being here. Plain Truth is saying Texas, Ohio State. So some of the big dogs, right? That's why I was thinking like Colorado made sense to me. I was like, maybe Colorado, he could go be the next. I have no idea. I kind of think, like, somebody asked me today, they're like, where? I was thinking Ole Miss, but I have no idea. So now I have 665 of you up in the house, right? Where do you guys, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the shock value in this? I'm going to say 10. I did not see this one at all. You could, like, Emmanuel Henderson, you're like, okay, yeah, the guy didn't get fed. Good player. I think it's a loss. You're like, Justice Haynes, you're like, all right, I could see that because he didn't get fed. But like with Jaylen Mbakwe, you're like, oh, man, that's getting a little bit too close for comfort because of the connection to Ryan Williams. Now, of course, nothing's happening to Ryan Williams. I wouldn't get scared and be like, oh, my God, because he's like a franchise player. They're going to pay whatever it takes. Even if Coach Kalen DeBoer has to pay some of his contract, right? You saw Mike Norvell's doing that. And this is where we've came from. Like, this is where we're at, is coaches are now giving part of their contract back to the university so that they can keep these players. Crazy. Oh, my goodness. This is wild. All right. I know what you're here for. So L. Davis is like Ryan Williams next. Okay, let me ask you. Do you think that Ryan Williams will transfer? Yes or no? I don't. But who the hell knows in this crazy world? I definitely don't. I think he's a transfer, like he's their franchise player, right? This is absolutely crazy. All right. Let me show you a graphic of what the Alabama secondary would look like. And, I guess you could look at it where, like, Jaylen Mbakwe probably want to be the starter. And this probably tells us that Damani Jackson is coming back, right? So you had Damani Jackson as a corner. You had Xavier Brown as a corner. I was thinking, like, you don't have a Husky. Couldn't you put Jaylen Mbakwe at Husky? And then you got Keon Sabb, and then you got Bray Hubbard. You see what I'm saying? Like, I like that secondary. But I guess he wants to play corner. And I guess Alabama is not willing to pay, a 7-figure salary to Jaylen Mbakwe. Jaylen Mbakwe feels different. So, man, that's a lot of cash. Oh, yeah, Kevin, I didn't think about that. North Carolina. All right, let's dogs barking downstairs and everything. All right, let me go over some graphics real quick because I want to show you what the secondary, I guess, could look like now that we're talking, transfer portal and with Jaylen Mbakwe hitting the portal. I appreciate you guys being here. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. We'll do some quick detail on what the roster could look like real fast. Man, this is a big one. All right, so this is what the Alabama secondary, my goodness, the dog's going crazy downstairs, could look like right here. And we still don't know if Damani Jackson will come in. And if you're just here and you're like, oh my God, what happened? Yeah, this is bad. This is 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 on a shock value. Here you see that Jaylen Mbakwe listed as a transfer. There you have it. Jarvis, what's up, man? I see you inside the company. I saw company. I see you inside the comment box. So, look, Deshaun Jones, he was a transfer. Look, I don't know. Did you guys like Deshaun Jones? I think he was all right. You have Zay Mincy. I think he's in development. You know who I really like? I feel a little bit better because of this graphic, because of Dejoun Lee. Who's excited about Dejoun Lee inside the comment box? But in terms of bleeding, is it bleeding? Yeah, I'll say this is a little bleeding. I think he is a loss. And I am not going to say one negative thing about Jaylen Mbakwe. You guys saw, I think he's a great player. I think he was going to be good. You know what? He started coming around. He really did. And I think if he would have got enough touches as Xavier, and who would have thought Xavier Brown would have beat him out? But I like Jaylen Mbakwe's game. I really do. And he's officially in the transfer portal. Hey, Jerry Slaughter, thank you very much for becoming a fan funder. We got 708 up in the house. Jaylen Mbakwe has hit the transfer portal. That's why I feel a little bit better now, being that Dejoun Lee's coming in, right? Dejoun Lee. He's like he might be 6'4". It's been a while since we've had a really tall corner up in the house, right? And I know for you guys just getting here, I know let me hit on a couple different notes real quick, because there's a lot going on in the transfer world today. And look, I'm going to talk a little bit, some good news too. You're like, what? Good news? Yeah, there's some good news as well that could be coming. So just stay patient. But let's before we get to the good news, we got to cover all what's happening. Okay. So news as it happens. Earlier today, you had Emmanuel Henderson. This was just about an hour ago, and I was saving to go live until 7:30, and then all this stuff started happening. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Okay, so Emmanuel Henderson, just about an hour ago, hit the NCAA portal as well. So this is the fourth wide receiver to leave. And again, I'll go back and circle on Jaylen Mbakwe, okay? But Emmanuel Henderson hits. What are your thoughts on Emmanuel Henderson hitting the transfer portal? Viewer discretion advised. I'm going to show you a graphic that shows the wide receiver room getting shred apart, okay? There's 4 wide receivers that have entered the transfer portal following this year, right? Kobe Prentice, Kendrick Law, Emmanuel Henderson, Caleb Odom, Emmanuel Henderson being the last. Kobe, Emmanuel Henderson, those are in-state guys going elsewhere. Look, I mean, Emmanuel Henderson had 4 receptions this past year. Kobe Prentice had 11, right? Quincy knows the reason why everybody's leaving. All right? There's a lot going on at Alabama right now. And is everybody getting hit by the transfer portal? I didn't even have time today to put the comparative analysis in terms of LSU versus Alabama versus Georgia. Yes, people are losing people to the transfer portal, but I don't like what's happening. I don't like the fact that a couple of these other people, and the New Wave podcast is officially gone. Wow, that was crazy. That is wild. So the New Wave podcast, I think, is officially taken down. Crazy. That's the thing. Man, no more content on the New Wave podcast. Wow. Yo, Jay Diggs, 100%, man. I 100% know. Ryan Williams and Jaylen Mbakwe were like this. The university continues to go in with these guys, whether it be Lank, whether it be the New Wave podcast. And these are the things that are happening. It's money. It's wrong. College football is completely off the rails. Here we are. Here we stand. Man, and that's what I was saying at the beginning of the show. Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine how much money Ryan Williams is getting compared to Jaylen Mbakwe? Yo, friends or not. Like, I bet you Ryan Williams, how much do you think he's making? How much do you think Alabama's paying Ryan Williams? $7 million in his new contract? I guarantee you Ryan Williams isn't playing for the same amount that he played in last year. There's zero chance. You don't think you think Ryan Williams is gonna walk into Coach Kalen DeBoer and be like, yo, I'm ready to play again for $1 million? No, he's gonna be like, yo, I need $7 million. And Coach Kalen DeBoer gonna be like, okay, I make $10 million. Let me try to figure out what's happening. No. Ryan Williams, to keep somebody like Ryan Williams is gonna be like $7 million out the jump. Crazy. Yo, T. That's why I'm saying, thank you. What's up, T? I see you inside the comment box. How much okay, Barrett is saying 5 to 10 million. I'm thinking he's making way more. I'm thinking like 5 to 7 million for Ryan Williams. And he's not leaving, but that's what he's going to require. And once you pay somebody like that, How are you going to pay some of these other cats that got to get paid? You see what I'm saying? 900 up in the house. Emmanuel Henderson also hit the transfer portal, right? This is what the Alabama wide receiver room could look like next year. I'm about to show you some targets that Alabama is going after. But here we go for the Alabama wide receiver room. This is who I would imagine is going to play against Michigan. Scratch out Jalen Hell, scratch out Cole Adams because those guys are injured. So your starters are going to be Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams, Rico Scott, Jaron Hamilton. Scratch out Bubba Hampton. He's injured. I guess Amari Jefferson. the wide receiver room. Man. Oh, Matt Farms, the new wave is still on? Okay. All right. Someone tweeted that it was all out. I don't know. Leave the content. Leave it. Yeah, so that's crazy. I didn't even think about it. Cole Adams is hurt. Jalen Hell isn't 100% yet. Bubba Hampton's hurt. Shoot. Amari Jefferson? You're about to see him? Crazy, man. This is crazy. All right. So you have a prospect that has been predicted to come to Alabama. People would be happy about this one, okay? I talked to some people around the program, and I talked to some people at Miami, actually. Isaiah Horton, he's been predicted to come to Alabama. He's a wide receiver. Yo, I'm telling you, this dude is absolutely fantastic. 6'4" wide receiver. It looks like he could be announcing at any point in time. Skylar is saying that KC Concepcion is going to come as well. I haven't heard that. I haven't seen any predictions on him, but I did see predictions for Isaiah Horton. Inside the comment box, we got 961 up in the house. Has anybody seen Isaiah Horton play? Yo, the guy is absolutely a special player. 6'4", very lengthy type player. 56 receptions this past year, 616 yards. This past year with Cam Ward, he has 2 years of eligibility left. Physical off the line. He would be your physical type wide receiver. And I think he'd be very complimentary. Let's say Jeremy Bernard does go into the NFL. Then you have right here Isaiah Horton and you have Ryan Williams, right? And then you need your slot type wide receiver. It would be amazing if you had KC Concepcion, if you had Isaiah Horton and Ryan Williams. I mean, you're talking a huge upgrade in the receiver room. I promise you. Now, if you do get Isaiah Horton and you have Ryan Williams, you need a slot still that can stand out. Look, let's say they don't get KC Concepcion. Maybe they get Mario Craver, right? Mario Craver out of Mississippi State. And look, maybe that Latsier Brooks is more developed than we think, and he could be here. So a lot of guys that could work that 3 spot. And look, Alabama, you just used 2 wide receivers this last year. The problem is, this is the problem. If you don't feed these guys and if you don't water your plants, right, these guys are going to bail. And I know I probably catch flack for this, but there's no way in hell that you're coming over here and you're telling Isaiah Horton, like Nick Sheridan, he should have never said this, man. He wants to be a blocker. He's a really good blocker. Never say that about a wide receiver. Tell them that they're great stock blockers downfield, but they don't want to come here to be a blocker. Are you kidding me? No, they want the ball, man. They want the ball. 100%. You got to feed your wide receivers. 100%. So Mario Craver is another name, but I don't know. Think about this. Craver went to the same school as Jaylen Mbakwe, so maybe those guys, maybe Jaylen Mbakwe is like, yo, man, Bama's cool, but I ain't going to be there. So I don't know if you want that, right? Brian, what's up, man? Jarvis, I see you inside the comment box. Absolutely crazy day of news. You also had, I guess, Danny Lewis. So Danny Lewis, he's a tight end. Quincy, 100%, man. 100%. You got to feed your running backs. You think Justice Haynes wants to be here on the sideline? Just getting, 60 carries? Richard Young, 20? You're lucky that no one's gotten to Richard Young yet. I'm serious. You better do everything possible to make sure Richard Young stays as that counterpart with Jam Miller. I promise you, right? Danny Lewis withdrew his name from the transfer portal. To be honest, look, I really like the guys. Luke Haas, the guy out of Arkansas, I thought he had a good game, but he was banged up a couple times, eventually commits to Ole Miss. Nate Boeriker is another guy out of Nebraska, Alabama's going to. To be honest, out of all the guys that Alabama has been recruiting, I think that Danny Lewis is probably better than those guys. So Danny Lewis paired next to Josh Cuevas. Feel good about it. I mean, this was a guy who started a couple spring seasons ago at tight ends. So, yeah, just like James says, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Mac, what's up, man? Alabama super fan. I see you inside the comment box. Soup Lexus. This is Danny Lewis. So Danny Lewis was a tight end, hit the transfer portal early on, and then pulled his name out today. So this is what the tight end room will look like going into 2025. You have Danny Lewis, right? Danny Lewis. I believe Danny Lewis would be a redshirt junior, so I have to update that. You have Josh Cuevas would be a redshirt senior. And look, if you saw Josh Cuevas play, this guy absolutely is going to be a playmaker, but you need a big body, right? Someone to replace Robbie Oots. That's going to be Danny Lewis. You got Jay Lindsey, who I also think could grow into that role as well, replacing a Robbie Oots, Ty Lockwood, Caleb Edwards, and Marshall Pritchett, guys also in the back end. So, I'm going to show you a graphic of the guys that have hit the transfer portal. Help me out in case I've, overlooked a couple of them. News is happening as fast as possible. And we try to keep you posted on Bama Football on YouTube as quickly as possible. So, yeah, this graphic, I need to add a couple guys to this one. Let me see if I have another graphic that I can showcase you. If you're just joining us and you're like, what the hell is happening? Well, Jaylen Mbakwe has hit the transfer portal, and we don't like it. Okay, here's this graphic. I'm going to do some on-air editing real fast. And did you see Devontae Smith? Devontae Smith committed to Notre Dame. So, man, the dogs are barking. Jaylen Mbakwe, DB. 1 second, fam. And Devontae Smith went to here. Bring this up here. Man. So I think I have it. You guys can help me count this out. We're about to go full screen on this. All right. Let's see. Let's count them out. So we got Emmanuel Henderson. Help me out, fam, on this. All right. These are the transfer portal trackers. We got Emmanuel Henderson. All right. That's 1. Jaylen Mbakwe. That's 2. Devontae Smith, 3. Just Saints, 4. Lonergan, 5. Odom, 6. Osborne, 7. Otis, 8. Hurley, 9. Coat, 10. Law, 11. Prentice, 12. Bentre, 13. And McVay, 14. Woo, man, that is a lot inside the transfer portal. Man, shoot. I think the biggest one, and we got 1,000 on here. I appreciate you guys being here. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Can you guys rank the 3 biggest to hit the transfer portal that you felt would have an impact in 2025? I think it goes like this. I think I would say Haynes, right? Because he was number 2. The number 2 running back's gone. But Richard Young's good, so you're good there. Jaylen Mbakwe, I think that one makes me really uncomfortable just because he's close to Ryan Williams. So I'm kind of more shocked than anything. I guess a wide receiver like maybe a Caleb Odom. You know what was crazy is ESPN, I just saw, has Jaheim Otis as their number 1 player in the transfer portal on defense. I was like, man, look, and as much as I respect Jaheim Otis and how he had to rebuild his body, I honestly felt he started going the opposite way when he was over here. And you know me, I don't like to say anything negative about these players when they leave. I'm not going to, if the guy was good, he was good. Just like I feel like Justice Haynes, I feel he's good. I feel he's a good player. Should he be the number 1 running back here? No, but he was good. He wasn't utilized correctly. But Jaylen Mbakwe, man, that one hurts. It does. Samuel's saying that Otis is a beast. There was a season that I agree with you, and then he got injured, and then I think he just got beaten out by that spot. So either way, man, it looks like he's been crystal balled to Ole Miss. But then I saw someone said that he's still looking at Colorado. Okay, Ron is saying Justice Haynes, Caleb Odom, and Devontae Smith. Think about it like this. Alabama, I mean, so I guess that tells, I guess on the other side of the coin, does that mean that Damani Jackson is coming back? I think that has to mean that Damani Jackson's back, which I think is good. I guess you only have to figure out who's going to be your Husky position player. Maybe that's going to be Red Morgan, right? Jay Kish, what's up, man? 777 is up in the house saying Bach, Henderson, Haynes. I like Emmanuel Henderson too. The guy had a hip injury in 2023. That's why you never got to see him on the field. And this year, I mean, come on, it was just two wide receivers that were getting fed the ball, Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. I mean, can you imagine being a wide receiver this year other than Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard? I bet those guys were absolutely, completely frustrated. I didn't hear any of those guys other than Caleb Odom go to the social media and start saying something. But other than that, I mean, those guys, you know, didn't really say anything up until they bounced. In fact, I saw Kobe Prentice even comment on an AL.com post saying that he was supportive of Jalen Milroe. It's just, I mean, come on. You got to get those kids more than 11 receptions. Marcel is saying Damani is 100% coming back. Yeah. Okay. What I like to do in a situation like this is I like to always go over roster management. So before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the I'm going to go back to the Jaylen Mbakwe graphic. I'm going to go over that one more time, and then we're going to do some roster management in terms of like looking at all the prospects from kind of a snapshot view. And I think that will give us a better indicator of how the roster is looking after several key roster switch ups today. So that's what we'll do in just a second. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm always watching my phone too, because it's like transfer news after transfer news. So please take a minute to hit the subscription button, especially now during the transfer portal season, because this is absolutely crazy what's going on. And heads up, Thursday, I will be out of town. I will still have my regular show. I will still come on live as news happens, but just something to be, if you don't see me in my studio, don't be alarmed, right? Like, we'll still have news as it happens. This is what I do for my livelihood. Okay, so if you're just jumping in and you're like, what the hell happened? Let me give you a snapshot of today. All right, this afternoon, the biggest piece of news is the fact that Jaylen Mbakwe hit the NCAA transfer portal, okay? What is really scary about this isn't the fact that you're losing a starter, but you're losing somebody that is so close to Ryan Williams, right? And I think Ryan Williams, like, you don't play with these freshmen here at Alabama. Like, Alabama loves Ryan Williams. Alabama loves Jaylen Mbakwe. You know, people love the podcast that they have. These guys are all Alabama. These guys are like Gump Nation, as people like to say. And I think that we got Todd up in here with the super chat. Let me get to this real quick. Todd is saying paying 7 figures to Bach is absolutely nuts. This is a big risk. I can get a productive corner in the portal for half that. Interesting take. You know, and you got to think that these schools, you know, they're trying to, you know, pry away a second tier corner. That is a good point. Like $1 million to somebody who didn't even start, but maybe they're seeing the potential of him. I don't know. Next King is saying some of these transfers out are not all because they don't want to be there. Some of it is that some of the players know they might not get drafted or even play long in the NFL, so they have to secure their future. Damn good point. And let me hit on this, okay? So Next King, that is exactly what I've been saying. I think that people like handlers, people in the corners are talking to the prospects and being like, yo, look, you gotta look to the money right now. This could be your only chance in life to make $1 million out the jump. So take it. This isn't the best place for you. And you're not playing now. Remember Javon Baker's dad? He was like, man, you need to play my son. And I think you do get that. So $1 million, you going to turn down $1 million? You going to stay at your job? If somebody offers you, okay, let's say you're making $65,000, 75, 85. Okay. You're living comfortably. and somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, I'm going to give you $1 million to come over here. Daniel, that's what I was wondering about tampering too. It's business, man. Look, and the coaches are doing it all the time. Then this is why, the other thing, thumbs up inside the comment box if you think the transfer portal window needs to be pushed to another month. I don't know. I haven't, all I know, I'm reacting to it just like you. But think about all the things that are in December. This is crazy. You had the transfer portal. You had signing day. We had the college football playoffs. We have transfer portal. We have bowl games. The transfer portal closes. And then for some teams, it doesn't even close based on where their bowl game is. So like for Alabama, the transfer portal really doesn't close up until January 5th. Like who's running all this? Who's deciding all this? And I'm seeing, what is really scary is I am seeing a lot of fans out there. They're so frustrated that they've been saying that they're like not interested in college football. I mean, that's really concerning. Marking with the 499 super chat. Does Alabama just not have enough money? What does it mean for Ryan Williams? How do you think he's feeling right now? I think Alabama has more than enough money. Think about this. They're paying Nick Saban $500,000 for just being a former coach, right? They're paying Kalen DeBoer $10 million to be the head football coach. Mike Norvell is giving back $4 million to the university. I think Alabama has a ton of money. I just think that they're strategic on how they want to spend it. I think there's a lot of people behind the scenes that also make millions and millions of dollars. The whole the whole thing about the Yay Alabama too is like you put money in there, but you can't really see where the money's going, right? But I don't think Alabama's broke at all. Alex, what's up, man? Let me know inside the comment box, bro. And how do I think Ryan Williams feeling? I have no idea. The guy is 17 years old. I'm sure, it's his best friend. I'm sure he's bummed out, but I think he's old enough to know that business is business, right? So, no, I mean, I remember losing friends at 17 years old. Sucks. So I'm sure they're going to continue to be boys, but I haven't seen anything about like Ryan Williams leaving or anything like that. But college football is absolutely crazy. What's up, man? I appreciate you being here, man. Good luck to SMU against Penn State. I was surprised to see that line was a little bit closer than I thought. Let me ask you guys real quick inside the comment box. Who wins, Penn State or SMU this weekend? Penn State, SMU. I was trying to bring up the line on that game. Jarvis, what's the line on that game up to? Penn State and SMU. I'm going to do some roster management next. And I liked what I saw from SMU, too, in terms of the athleticism. No, it looked good. Fast team, really fast. Let's see. Juwan saying SMU, Penn State. I think Penn State, the game is in Happy Valley. I don't know how much they'll win by or whatever, but I would say like 10 or more. And I don't even like Penn State. If you come to my shows, I don't think Penn State's good. James Franklin doesn't win big games. This will be another game that he wins that keeps his job, but I don't think he wins big games. Same thing with Ryan Day. Angels in with the super chat. Are we stinking late? Are we sinking like the Titanic? This has to stop. This is bullshit. I'm so stressed, no control. Why don't we pay? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that's the other thing too, is we are never going to know this, but did Jaylen Mbakwe, did he give Alabama an opportunity to counter? You see what I'm saying? I don't know. SMU is a tire fire. Oh, man. Big news. Heath Blackwell up in the house saying Ryan Williams is gone too. No, that is not true. Jawan, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Linda Derry, what's going on? Corey is saying Penn State over SMU. And I keep on saying this too. I think the new baseline for college football for everybody is like for everybody in college football, it keeps referring to Alabama's loss against Vanderbilt. Well, this is the new world of college football. Like, the teams are never going to be the same again because of NIL in the transfer portal. All these teams are just as good as each other. And Greg Borhader, man, you might be right, man. Until you get a commitment from the portal. Because, look, let me ask you this before I go to roster management. Who do you feel will be the first commitment out of the transfer portal besides the preferred, what was it, punter or long snapper? Who do you think will be the first commitment? I think it seems like it's going to be Isaiah Horton out of Miami, which would be a really good get, to be honest. That would be great. Major's asking, why is everyone leaving? I think everyone's leaving because, better opportunities money-wise. Plus, look, once you play here at Alabama and you wear the crimson, everybody, look, your value goes up, period. Your value goes way up. Alex says everyone claimed Mbakwe wasn't going nowhere. I didn't think he'd go anywhere, bro. Like, that's what makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, damn. And Larry, I asked that too. I was like, how is this not tampering? No idea. Let's go over some roster management real quick. There's a lot to go over in terms of roster management. If you're new to the channel, when I talk roster management, we go position by position. We look at the positions from quarterback on how they are right now, how they look next year. If you see anything that needs to be updated, let me know. We'll come back and we'll update it. I do all the editing in-house unless I have T here producing. I'm solo today, so I appreciate your guys' patience with the roster build out. Okay, so here we are talking about Alabama quarterback room, right? Their quarterback room going where it is right now. You're talking about going into the game against Michigan, okay? Keelan Russell will not get here until January. Okay, so you have Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, and Austin Mack. Yes, Jalen Milroe is going to play in this game. And as you heard today, Jalen Milroe, at least it's the expectation is that he is going to announce that he will head to the NFL in 2024. However, I have also been hearing that a lot of people are feeling that he is trending towards staying too. I don't know. I know it's polarizing. Everyone starts fighting and getting heated when I talk about it, but is it a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility. He could come back if he wants to. We got a super chat in from Brandon. Do you think DeBoer is having problems getting the guys to stay or to buy in? There might be an entire, I appreciate the super chat, bro. I think there might be an entire, culture change and shift that's going to be this ever since like rotating. Like Saban's gone, man. Like these are so different inside the locker room at the program. Brand is still the same, but yeah, things are changing. So I don't know. Some people might not be vibing with Coach Jaylen Mbakwe. That could 100% be it. Maroon Panther is saying he's not staying. Yeah, right. I'm with you, man. Maroon Panther. I think he's absolutely gone 100%. But I know, I hear people are like, yo, people are thinking that he's staying. So I hear it both ways. All right, Ty Simpson, and this is looking at next year, okay? So you got Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, and Keelan Russell. Those will be your three quarterbacks in 2025. We all know the storyline. Ty Simpson, the favorite to be the quarterback. Austin Mack, redshirt sophomore, and then Keelan Russell, the guy who's the MVP of pretty much the nation. Just lost in I think it was the quarterfinals in Texas. Of course, everybody loves his game. Me too. I think he's very comparable. I know it's a huge comparison, but to Jane Daniels, I don't think he compares to anybody else on the roster that Alabama has had as quarterback. J.A. Kelly is also saying that Milroe isn't staying. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. Here's a running back room going into this next year. As you can see, Jam Miller coming back. Justice Haynes out. Richard Young. That's why I don't feel that worried about the running back room. Now, you lose Richard Young right now. I'm stressing a little bit, right? Damien, what's up, man? Kyle, I hear that dog over there, man. Yo, no. So the dogs, I got the 3 dogs over here, man. I got 2 Frenchies and a Jack Russell Terrier. And they're downstairs and they're going crazy. Like absolutely crazy. So look, dogs are gonna dog. If you have dogs out there, love your dogs. Dog life's the best. I'm gonna go downstairs and handle business in a little bit, but hey, they're probably hungry, right? We're all hungry in the evening time. But I feel good about the running back room overall, right? I mean, just hold on to Richard Young. Whatever you have to do, please, 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 please. And don't tell anybody out there, like, don't talk about Richard Young. But guess what's going to be crazy? I'm going to tell you. I'm predicting that Richard Young has a monster game in the Rose Bowl, in this ReliaQuest game. And then he's going to put himself on the map. I promise you, promise you, okay? Keep my receipts on this. The ReliaQuest Bowl, you're going to get a healthy dose of Richard Young. I promise you. Just wait. And then he has until January 5th up into here to hear from people. All right, Jaylen Mbakwe out with the statement. We'll bring that right here to Bama Football on YouTube. Remember when you used to do screenshots? All right, let's see what we got. Jaylen Mbakwe. You guys want to see the screenshot? I'll bring it up. This is Jaylen Mbakwe, okay? Statement right now. I'm reading it out. I would like to begin by thanking God for the gift of being able to play football. My time at the University of Alabama has been an unforgettable journey, filled with growth, invaluable experiences, relationships I'll cherish forever. I'd like to extend my gratitude to Coach Kalen DeBoer, Coach Roach for believing in me and giving me the chance to prove myself. Your guidance and encouragement has shaped me in ways I cannot fully express. To my fellow teammates, your support, mentorship, and brotherhood have made every moment meaningful, and I'll always treasure the bonds we've created. This is a statement by Jaylen Mbakwe. To the Crimson Tide, your passion and loyalty have been a consistent source of inspiration. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. With that being said, I made the decision to enter the NCAA transfer portal with 3 years of eligibility remaining. This is not an easy decision, but I believe it's the best step for my personal and professional development, the future I'm working towards myself and my family. Jaylen Mbakwe. Oh, man. Oof. I don't know if I would have left loyalty in there. I would have been like, yo, okay, you guys want to see it? Let me bring it up in 2 seconds. Give me 1 second. I don't know if I'm leaving loyalty up in there. All right, let me bring it on the screen in 2 seconds. But that was the statement put out by Jaylen Mbakwe. I mean, there's agents. These guys have everybody, right in the. I guarantee you, he didn't write that. But there's people who wrote it. So let me bring it full screen. I'm gonna show it to you in 2 seconds. I'm doing the editing myself. I gotta feed the dogs here in a little while. We'll probably come back again on the late night tip as well and talk about the news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I'm about to show you the full statement in just 2 seconds. Just give me 1 second. I should be able to get this up fast. And I like doing, I love when T's here doing the editing, but it's all good. I got you covered. All right, 1, 2, 3, back to full screen. Here's the edit, and I'll go full screen on this. Samuel's saying that he wrote it. I don't know, man. You just leave the word loyalty out. Look, you just got to be like, I got paid $1 million. Everyone else would leave too. I love you, but I got showed the money. I'm out. College football is crazy. Thank you. And the thing about it is the guy, the young man down here in this statement mentions, about being developed somewhere else. Obviously, that's hard to believe because you have Mo Lindquist back there. Mo Lindquist, man, is a hell of a football coach. I would imagine at some point in time he leaves. People keep asking about Kane Womack, Nick Sheridan. Are those guys going to leave? I'm more wondering about Mo Lindquist. Mo Lindquist is the head football coach at Buffalo. And as you have heard, these guys get an opportunity to speak to the media, which I really don't agree with because of this. Listen, you start to understand how talented these coaches are. Like Coach Saban tried his best to hide all these guys, right? hide all the assistants. No assistant spoke, period. But over here, the assistants speak every single day. I think they speak tomorrow or Wednesday. All right, so that's the statement from Jaylen Mbakwe. Yeah, Larry Large, exactly, man. Just come out and be like, yo, I got paid, okay? And you're working for your money. I just made mine, and that's that. And I get it. This is the world of college football. But, yo, the scary thing, too, about Jaylen Mbakwe, the other thing, man, is like, this is like a Bama guy. Think about, just stay with me for 1 second. Last year, at this exact time, there was nobody that was recruiting Ryan Williams to come to Alabama harder than Jaylen Mbakwe. Right? Nobody. And now he left. Yeah, Max is asking about Emmanuel. Yes. So, yeah, Harold, let me show you real quick, because I know there's different people rapping in at different times. So in case you guys missed the news and you guys are like, what is happening? There's been a lot that has happened today. I was waiting to go live when Jaylen Mbakwe went into the transfer portal. So here you go. Emmanuel Henderson hit the transfer portal during the 4 p.m. hour. Jaylen Mbakwe hit the transfer portal about 50 minutes ago. Devontae Smith, about 3 p.m., announced that he's going to go to Notre Dame. Devontae Smith just basically transferred and he's going to be in the playoffs. Just kidding. He has to sit out. You imagine that? What if the rules were like, if you graduated, you could just transfer to a team that was in the playoffs and start playing for them? I mean, leave it to college football to let that happen. Devontae Smith can't play until next year. You imagine that? Then Devontae Smith, he's in the playoffs. Oh, B-Rob is saying, yeah, the podcast, dude, I'm telling you. Like, that's why the schools got to be careful when they like start partnering up with these players and telling people to support these products, because players can just dip out. 100%. And then Danny Lewis pulled his name out of the portal. He's a tight end. So who would have thought Devontae Smith went to Notre Dame? I'm going to say this about Devontae Smith. I love Devontae Smith, but I don't know if you're going to find cats up at Notre Dame that are going to defend you like Malachi Moore did when you got jumped by Auburn. Yo, that was crazy. But look, and the thing about Notre Dame, you saw that their head football coach just got offered a new contract. Well, duh, they don't play anybody. Notre Dame's going to be in the playoffs for the next 100 years because of the playoff system. They don't play anybody. That's why Dan Mullen, right? That's why he's going to UNLV, because it's an easy place to coach to get in the playoffs. Duh. Christian, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Hey, Donald, yeah, I got you, man. There's a lot of stuff coming in, 100%. So I was just getting to roster management, and then, we went over a couple things. Texas boy, what's up, man? He that's what I'm saying. Texas boy, 100%, man. Like, the thing about it, and the thing about it is, like, Notre Dame, imagine if Texas went to independent, like Notre Dame. They'd be in the playoffs every single year. It's too easy. All right. What I was going to show you guys was roster management. And then we got off track somehow. Oh, man. RTR Gamer, are you serious? You just got the New Wave? Oh, he just got the New Wave podcast. That's crazy. That sucks, man. I know I have my Hollywood. That might be memorabilia. I have my Hollywood hoodie. All right, here we go for roster management. Back on track with the running backs. As you can see, Justice Haynes is the only guy that has transferred so far in the room. You're looking at the tight end room right now. This is up to date, as Danny Lewis did pull his name out of the transfer portal. So this is your tight end room, I guess, for next year. it's not a bad room. Josh Cuevas seems to be like a playmaker. Danny Lewis, big body tight end that you need. Caleb Edwards, Marshall Pritchett, those are the new guys in here. Case, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. If they ain't wearing crimson and blah, blah, blah. You know what's crazy? Alabama's up to what? What did we count? 14? 9 more, and will Alabama opt out of the bowl game? No, I'm serious. 9 more. We got a super chat up in here from Professional Certified Hater. T, what's up? You ready to join the show?
Almost. I'm loading.
Okay, you're loading. All right.
Oh, I see it. I'm here now.
Professional Certified Hater. All right, you got T up in the house.
Hello,
ladies
everyone.
and gentlemen, a producer is here on Emergency Monday Night Transfer Portal Talk. T, can you read out Professional Certified Hater?
Yeah, he's saying, so you have to imagine that Ryan Williams feels some kind of way considering Bach was trying to ensure he stayed at Bama. New Wave Podcast updated its bio with just RW2.
Yeah, so that just, I mean, look, Ryan Williams is going to be making so much money. I mean, now it's just going to be his channel. It's just going to be him and I don't know, Courtney Morgan, I guess. I have no idea, but that's it. Carter Productions, what's up, man? See you up in the house. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hate getting these updates. You never know. The Alabama wide receiver room completely gutted. You have 4 guys that have hit the transfer portal: Kobe Prentice, Kendrick Law, Emmanuel Henderson, Caleb Odom, right? Cole Adams is injured. Here's what I guess it could look like next year. Look, I had a graphic. I did put Isaiah Horton on here. He's the prospect out of Miami. I would imagine that he commits at some point in time, probably sooner than later. We'll be back live for that. That will be a big deal, to be honest. Look him up right now, please. Isaiah Horton, okay? T, if you could get me the graphic of the faces of all the players that have hit the transfer portal, there's 14 of them. And on the transfer document, we have a list of those. Appreciate it. Thank you. So you had Jeremy Bernard, right? Whether he comes back or not, you still have Ryan Williams, Rico Scott. And I was thinking about this from the bowl perspective too. I guess you have Jeremy, Ryan, Rico, Jaron, and Amari Jefferson, because Jalen Hell's hurt. Cole Adams is hurt. Bubba Hampton, I think he might be injured. I'm not sure on that. So could be pretty slim pickings in the wide receiver, right? But let's just say, hypothetically, you have Isaiah Horton here out of Miami, and maybe you add the Craver young man, right? Jay, these are the guys that are going to play in the bowl game right here on the screen. The Alabama offensive line, this is what it looks like for 2025. Patriot Life. When is tryouts for fans? Oh, man. Yeah, Dylan, I agree, man. Rico Scott, definitely a player. I'm going to show you this full screen. Who are you, like, what do you think's going to, who's going to be right tackle for this team next year? You think that Formby or Pritchett has like a really big breakthrough? They could. They could absolutely have a breakthrough. I mean, look what happened with Seth, right? Alex 1738, what's up, man? And with the super chat, Bama got to do something about money. We have to pay. I mean, something. What I would love more than anything is to see a pie chart of how much all these players are getting paid. Wouldn't that be amazing? Hey, Case, look, Case supporting us. I appreciate it, T. When you see it on the screen, could you read out Case's super chat?
Case says, recruiting is such a joke nowadays. This is why Saban retired. Building relationships means nothing. Trusting the process doesn't even exist anymore. These entitled kids care more about money over their degree or development as a player in person. Yeah,
100%. And I think that's why, like, you probably see like Yay Alabama, which is the program here. That's why I think people are hesitant to put their money to the program to get players because players leave so often, right? Like, let's just say you could give $1 million to the program, okay? And you're in that position to do that. And there's people that are. Let's say you go up to the University of Alabama, yay, Alabama, and you're like, all right, I'm going to give you guys $1 million. $1 million, okay? I want to see where that money's going. University of Alabama was like, we can't show you, and we're not going to show you. So, like, who's getting what? And what is, like, the salary breakdown of these players? And what happens if that player leaves? Do you get that money back, right? Like, I don't know. It opens up a whole different can of worms. I have no idea who's going to be the right tackle. Juice WRLD is saying Ty Haywood. That would be great. He's still not, he hasn't decommitted from Alabama, but it seems like, I don't know. Maybe they find a way to rack up some cash to keep him. Who knows? More transfers. It looks like you have a Jaheim Otis and Hunter Osborne. I don't know where Jaheim Otis will end up. It looks like somewhere in Mississippi, right? I have no idea about Hunter Osborne. Next year, I would imagine that Tim Keenan comes back. I know he graduated, but he still has another year of eligibility. James Smith, Damon Payne. I feel pretty good about this room. I still want Alabama. Like, I would feel better if Alabama got Gabriel Brownlow here, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I haven't really seen an update on that. You have Ja Latham, LT Overton. This is this year, but next year you could potentially have. We need to update this too. T. It's the Bandit for 2025. It's on snap counts. Ja Latham still has another year of eligibility, so he could be here, right? LT Overton, I think he's got to go to the NFL. Keon Keeley, I guess we're just waiting to see. Jordan Renard, baller. Oh, we do have Ja Latham. We just need to push him to the front of that page. And then Cavante Henry, a freshman that I think they want to play the Bandit position. The Wolf position, you got Quay, you got Yanze, you got Noah Carter. You add Justin Hill here. I'm excited about that. The inside linebacker room, I'm starting to feel more and more that Deontay Lawson comes back and that you lose Jahad Campbell and Justin Jefferson, right? And then the corners, look, we got to put a transfer tag, T, on Jaylen Mbakwe. But I guess when you look at it here, as long as Damani comes back, you had Damani, Zabian, I guess Deshaun Jones, Zay Mincy, Dejon Lee. You'll be fine for this next year. I mean, Dejon Lee's, he's really good. Super talented. Aaron has a question inside the comment box, T. Aaron Washington.
This might take me a second.
Yeah, I got it then. It's not too long. Aaron says, hey, Kyle, I have a question. Who all going to show up and play in the bowl at this point? I would say it's a good question. So think about it like this. The easiest way, Aaron, to think about this, we'll show a graphic of all the guys who are in the transfer portal. Those guys are not playing in the transfer portal. But this is an easy way to look at it as well. All the guys who are draft eligible are going to play in the bowl game. So, for example, Jalen Milroe, Jahad Campbell, Jan Miller, Jeremy Bernard, Damani Jackson, all that nucleus of like the upperclassmen that are eligible to go to the NFL, all those guys are playing. I have a graphic. I'll show that in just a second. But the transfers obviously will not. Alabama's up to 14 transfers. They get 10 more. Are they opting out of this game? I doubt it, but I'll tell you, the last thing that you want to happen in the Reliance Bowl is the last thing that you want is to lose. You have to win. You have to beat Michigan. I promise you, if this program loses to Michigan, this will be the third unranked team that they lost to. It will be terrible. Absolutely terrible if they lose this bowl game. The safety position, I actually like it. This is one position that I feel pretty good about. Keon Sabb, Bray Hubbard, I like that. Dre Kirkpatrick in development. Red Morgan, got to pray he gets better because he's going to be the Husky. And you know what? Red Morgan, this guy got eaten up a lot. I like his game, physical, but he got eaten up. And then you have Ivan Taylor coming in over here. He's a safety player. So you have, and then special teams. I don't want to continue to scare you guys, but Graham Nicholson is gone. James Burnup is gone. Neil Hibbett is gone. Losing James Burnup sucks. Okay. Losing like we have no idea who's gonna be the center, but losing Neil Hibbett, that sucks. Let me get to this graphic that shows you a little bit about the ReliaQuest Bowl. You're probably like, ReliaQuest Bowl? Like, what's your interest level on this game? Scale of 1 to 10 right now. What's your interest level? Mine is actually getting a little bit higher because of the opt-outs. I'm like, damn, who is gonna? I'm like, it's actually a little bit more interesting now. That what interest level on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm a little bit more interested, to be honest. Yeah, GSP Scott said we just signed a snapper. I saw that. 7? Mine's kind of a 10. Mine's creeping up there. All right, 2, 0, 6, 7, 10, 0. All right.
Did you get Todd's super chat?
No, I don't think we read out Todd's super chat. Go ahead, T.
Todd's just saying Alabama got Deshaun Jones for a Snickers bar in the portal, and he was starting corner.
Oh man. All right. Who has the better suit here? I'm gonna say Sharon Moore. I'm kind of going with that look right now, but I do think Coach Jaylen Mbakwe looks nice. I do think so.
He looks classic, like a
he does.
Look.
This is a classic Alabama. However, Coach Nate Oates, like he has drip.
Yeah, he does. I like his style.
Coach Nate Oates. I feel I'm comfortable with how I dress. Nate Oates has like pure drip. That guy, the way like his blazers are something like, I love it. What T-Town Trisha is saying, Amari Jefferson's page. What does that mean? T-Town Trisha, no. All right. So as Erin was asking, she was like, well, who the hell is playing in this game? A couple upperclassmen explained, I think it was last week, they're like, Jaha Campbell was like, there was no discussion. This is what I love to do. I have a passion for it. I have a competitive nature. I can't not play. 100%, right? That's why another reason why I like this guy. Damani Jackson is like, look, I'm just focusing on Michigan. I think Milrose said the same thing. Here are the players, Aaron. Of course, this doesn't show the entire picture of the players, but in terms of like guys who could opt out, right? Bruce is like, oh my God, you'll stop with the no. We just wanted to like make a quick observation, Bruce. But the non-opt-outs, as you can see, Milrose playing, Jan Miller, Jeremy Bernard, Tyler Booker, Jaden Roberts, LT Overton, Deontay Lawson, Jaha Campbell, Damani Jackson. But it's been Michigan that has had the opt-outs. Greg DeBoer is saying, is Bray Hubbard in the portal? No, I haven't seen that. But look at the opt-outs from Michigan are pretty significant. Donovan Edwards, that's a new one, a running back. He's on the game of NCAA football. He's not even playing in the bowl game. Colston, Loveland, Mason Graham, and then Will Johnson. All right, so those are your guys who hit the transfer portal. T, how are we looking on that graphic over there? Yeah.
More, right?
Yeah, I think so. Here's a snapshot. I guess we can go full screen on this. Let's see what we're looking at right here. This should give us a snapshot of all the guys, right?
Oh, we already had Jaylen. I added him twice.
Okay, so we got Mbakwe. Jeffrey inside the comment box is saying, yay, Alabama has already said that Alabama is not going to pay all their money other teams are paying. So if that's true, then expect them not to have a lot of big names. Interesting. Yeah. Then it comes down to coaching, right? Marvin Waffle House. Remember when Marvin Waffle House won the pinwheel?
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite times in
we were at Waffle House.
Yeah, and Adam was on. He was like, the pinwheel's rigged.
That's why he keeps saying that. Yeah.
Well, because how was it associated with Waffle House?
We were at Waffle House, and I think we
When he
posted a
won
picture or something
when he
from
won,
there. Yeah.
All right, let's go full screen on this. Is this 14? Jaylen Mbakwe, Dylan Lonergan, Justice
14.
Haynes, Kobe Prentice, Kendrick Law, Caleb Odom, Manuel Henderson, Miles McVeigh, Naquil Bentrade.
NyQuil.
NyQuil. He's the PM player. Jaheim Otis, Hunter Osborne, Keanu Coate, Jalil Hurley, and Devontae Smith. You know, it'd be cool on this graphic if we could put like a little logo to where the guys were going. So, like, for example, let's see.
Jalil to
Jalil to Kansas, Devontae to Notre Dame, and then just really the bottom. Yeah, on the right, on the bottom right. Yeah, is you have Keanu to Vandy. Man. Bruce Watson. Kyle, what's your odds on 20 players? Man, you know, Bruce, we were talking about that, right? I think I'm going to say over. I think we're going to say over on the transfer, over 20. Right? What do you think, T? T, let me ask you, and T as well. Do you think we're at 14 transfers? Are there going to be over 20?
We're at 14.
Well, we were at 15 because we did have Danny Lewis. So that was 15.
I think we're going to be right at 20.
What do you guys think?
Over.
Do you guys anticipate 6 more transfers? I would say at this rate, hell yeah.
I don't think over. Oh, yeah, you're probably right, though.
Marcel Lewis is saying, Kyle, did you see Jaylen's post? Thinks it's interesting. He says in his post, business decision with the lottery emoji. Damn. Yeah. Shoot. Man, 25. Death Stroll saying 35 players. That'd be crazy. Low 20s. I just hope not 25 by the bowl game. Could you imagine if Bama had to opt out of the bowl game? That would never happen. KG is saying 30. I think Lynn Shanny fills up in here too.
Never say never.
Where's Lynn? He
said the collective does not decide where the money is spent. That's totally up to the staff. That's the only thing.
So then the coaching staff can pay the players based on what they have, obviously. Yeah, makes sense. Recruiting means nothing going forward. Wait to the portal and poach other teams. 100%. What's the line now? Yeah. Your haircut
is to be emulated. Yeah, he has an awesome haircut.
So I've been going to Rivera's here in Tuscaloosa for a while. I used to go to Greasy Hands, but man, you can't get in there. And then I started getting haircuts way less because it became so expensive. Like, you guys gotten a haircut recently? How much is your haircut? Man.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know how much like an average haircut is for a man.
They're insane
right now.
It's crazy. All right. So look, Philip Thomas is saying Courtney Morgan hasn't proved anything yet. Let's see. I think when you talk about Courtney Morgan, right, one of the things that really stood out to me, which I felt was really interesting, was he said something about in-state guys not being a priority because he said if you're winning, then what does it matter? And I was like, damn. That's interesting. Because Coach Saban, it seemed like in-state guys were a priority, but then you have an in-state guy like Jaylen Mbakwe get money, he just bounces out. So maybe he's right. Shoot, he's been doing this for a while. If you look to the transfers that Alabama brought in, I think we could go back and forth in terms of if you like the transfers that he brought in. Courtney Morgan also brought in a hell of a recruiting class. So I think if you look to him fostering relationships with recruits, he did a pretty damn good job, like 10 out of 10. However, can you keep those guys? And that may be out of his hands, right? Like Courtney Morgan, like if somebody's going to come and offer Jaylen Mbakwe $1.2 million, you can't hold that against Courtney Morgan, right? Or against Coach Kalen DeBoer. But you can hold against the coaches to like play the guys. But if these guys aren't the best players in the field, then you can't play them, period. Shoot. Absolutely wild. But, we'll go back to the main graphic and just kind of the main topic that we're on right here. And that's talking about the fact that Jaylen Mbakwe has hit the transfer portal. If you're just joining us, if you're just checking in, the news of the day is Jaylen Mbakwe hitting the transfer portal. I know it's not the news that you wanted to see. It's uncomfortable. You probably get, really upset because, this was a in-state guy. This was a guy that you felt was all this. I'm going to tell you like this. This is why this one hurts. Okay. I think it's because of the trust factor. I think the Alabama fans saw Jaylen Mbakwe as someone safe that they could trust in terms of being an in-state guy that recruited Ryan Williams, that they felt was like all Bama. Maybe it was because he was a Bama guy, but I think sometimes you feel players are safe because of how they play. He recruited Ryan Williams, right? And I feel that people get their feelings hurt if loyalty. I get it. So I think that's why this one really hurts. I think people felt that Jaylen Mbakwe was untouchable in terms of the transfer portal, but I think what we've learned now, and we'll become a little bit more callous from this, no one is safe. So hide your wives, hide your kids, hide your husbands, hide everybody. Because the transfer portal is coming for you. The transfer portal is coming for me. In fact, I just received an offer while I'm doing this YouTube channel.
Shut up.
Nobody's safe. Nobody is safe. Okay? The transfer portal is here to taketh. And when will the transfer portal give? I don't know. But it'll feel really good when a commit does come in. And if it's Isaiah Horton, all the better. Oh, Trainwreck. Can you read out Trainwreck real quick when you see that? He's done some comparative now. Can you add LSU to Trainwreck? Because I think LSU had like 15 guys.
Okay, so Trainwreck is saying Bama has 14 players in. Auburn has 11. Oklahoma has 24. Oh, Georgia has 7. Dang. Tennessee has 11. Texas 10. And South Carolina 11.
I think LSU
That's
was
interesting.
15.
So, I mean, we don't have like a ton more than
Tim
most
Green
other teams,
is saying yada yada, yada yada yada. I hope you're referencing Seinfeld, Tim. Inside that, that's funny. Yada yada over the best part. I got you. Yada yada. All right, fam. Look, Jaylen Mbakwe is gone. I'm not sure if we'll be back tonight. If something major does break, we'll come back on with another live. I felt this was kind of an emergency situation with Jaylen Mbakwe hitting the transfer portal. Look, I want to hear from you inside the comment box, okay? Why do you think Jaylen Mbakwe hit the transfer portal? Use an emoji right now why you think Jaylen Mbakwe is leaving Alabama. As news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Please, please hit the subscription button and turn on all notifications so you are notified every single time we come live. If I don't come on again this evening, then you can catch my show tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. We got a buzzer beater super chat from Samuel. Kyle, do you think Ryan is going to leave? I do not think he's going to leave. I think that they will be able to secure him with the same type of emojis that our fellow friends are using inside the comment box. That seems to be the currency, right? Cash is king. Cash is king. Big loss with Alabama losing Jaylen Mbakwe. That one definitely does hurt. And this is Portal Combat. All right, fam. Be back as news happens. Feed your dogs. Feed yourself. Sleep well. Rest easy. Back as news.